Greetings and welcome, everyone. I'm sure that most of us here have been asking a similar question at one point or another. What should I be doing? What should I be working towards? What am I meant for? And while such questions really do cover a broad range of topics, today I'd like to focus on what drives our passions, or to put it simply, discovering what motivates you.
I'm no ancient dragon by a long shot, but I have seen a number of years. During that time, I've discovered that no two folks are the same.
I'd have thought that would be rather obvious.
Well, yes, but I mean the differences in the ways each individual thinks, feels, believes, and reacts to the world around them. I'm sure you've seen a number of different folks here in your office, each with their own interests, dreams, and motivations.
Absolutely. And one thing I've noticed is that there really is no clear answer for every issue. It really depends on the individual I'm chatting with and understanding what works specifically for them. Advice tends to change because not everyone approaches a problem in the same way.
I've always found it fascinating to think about what motivates people. I've seen a number of different factors that spur people to act, like money, for example. I'm not talking about monetary greed, but instead about how the potential to earn or gain money can motivate individuals to perform at their best.
Other motivating factors include power, or the desire to be in control of your surroundings, fame, and of course the attention and prestige that comes with it, or even position, where it's not so much about what you're doing, just as long as you're in charge of those around you.
There are still other individuals who are not motivated by any of these things, but instead have other factors that drive their passions. These are the people I find most interesting, because the most common motivating factors really don't drive them all that much. Back in 2003, I went on a 2-day seminar focused around what are called motivated abilities. Essentially, the purpose of that workshop was to discover what motivates each of us to act and to excel. In preparation, each attendee was required to write out a number of life experiences, several from childhood and some from teenagehood and adulthood. The criteria for each life experience were that they had to be A, something you felt you were good at, and B, something you really enjoyed doing.
Being good at something and finding the task enjoyable do not always go together, though most of the time when someone practices a skill long enough to become good at it, they do so because they find some enjoyment in it.
Indeed. One of the experiences I shared was from my days at junior high school, in a computer programming class. Those of you who have taken such classes know how difficult computer programming can be to understand. However, I had started programming computers when I was 7 years old. While the other students in the class took the expected amount of time to finish their assignments, I would always finish both classwork and homework early during class time. Using the time left over, I started writing programs of my own and eventually put together a very primitive side-scrolling space shooter game. The other students thought it was really cool, and the teacher gave me the nickname Whiz-Bang. Now, years later, I'm a professional game developer.
So based on your experiences, what did the moderators determine your motivating factors to be?
As it turns out, I'm not motivated by money, control, nor position. Instead, I'm most passionate about what I do when I can A, impress other people, and B, make an impact, make a difference.
Impressing people? Wouldn't that lead to becoming a show-off or a braggart?
Interestingly, it doesn't. While I like impressing people with the results of my work, I don't, however, like to be put into the limelight and heaped with praise. It makes me really uncomfortable. I would much prefer that folks admire the results of my work and put them to good use instead of admiring me as a person.
In my case, I can remember an experience just after graduating from college where I had been requested to teach others about how to manage their finances. This was all volunteer work, but I could tell just how very passionate I felt about it. Helping someone learn how to make a monthly budget, plan for their future, as well as greatly reducing their debt was actually rather fun for me. It wasn't necessary for me to get in front of a big crowd to teach about finances, and it didn't really matter if I never saw that person again. What motivated me was more about inspiring someone to become more independent, knowing that I had made a difference in some small way. And honestly, that still seems to be a great motivating factor. Managing a YouTube channel has been especially exciting since day one, but I never really needed to see my audience's reaction face to face to keep me going. Nor did I need to receive constant praise for my work. Dozens of comments saying how awesome my videos are just doesn't compare to one comment talking about how someone wants to become a better person because of my example. I spend a lot of quiet time in my office every day writing scripts, editing videos, and reading through comments. And that's actually preferable to getting in front of a crowd of fans and showing my work. I'm still trying to do such things from time to time because I know that I'll need to practice getting out of my comfort zone in order to improve my talents. But that's really not what motivates me to do the work.
For me, I'm really happy to sit back and create fun and games, and to see people playing and enjoying what I make. It doesn't interest me to have the players know that I was the one who created the game, but I feel inspired when I see players having fun and playing my games with their friends.
It is important to understand just what motivates us so that we can focus on doing tasks that play into our motivations. There are far too many individuals who mistakenly believe that they are motivated by money or fame, and yet they find themselves strangely unsatisfied with their career.
Like in my case, my first job out of college was with a large oil corporation in Houston, Texas. While the job paid very well and treated me kindly, I found that I didn't feel very passionate about my work because I didn't see how what I did made any impact. I felt like a small cog in a very large machine. Once I got into the gaming industry, I quickly saw how my work was critical to a project. If I failed in my tasks, then the project would be delayed or even canceled. Now, I love what I do, not just because I'm a gamer, but also because I can clearly see how my work impresses people and makes a large impact.
For those of you who would like to discover your own motivations, I recommend you try what Teric did for his seminar. Think back over your life and write out a number of different experiences that you both really enjoyed and did very well. Look for similar patterns across those experiences to see where your passions lie. You might be surprised to discover that your motivating factors are not what you thought they were.
Once you discover your own motivations, you'll have a better idea of what careers and activities you can work toward in order to achieve greater satisfaction and fulfillment.
We would like to hear your thoughts on these topics, and we wish you the best of luck in preparing for your future. Until next time, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.